Hello, everybody. Welcome to a Friday edition of the Computer America Show, and it's Friday. Ben is here. We got a great program planned for you tonight. ARAWR PC Repair is going to be our guest for the first hour, and then in hour two, Computer and Technology News brought to you by Slimware Utilities, the official optimization software of Computer America. So sit back, relax, enjoy the show. We'll be starting momentarily.
Well, that was fun.
Why? What happened?
My whole screen went blank. The whole thing just went completely blank, and I was like, "Oh man!"
Here we go.
1.
Broadcasting live, it's America's longest-running national radio talk show on computers, Computer America, hosted by national columnist Craig Crossman. Look for Craig's weekly column in your favorite newspaper. This show is being beamed nationwide at ComputerAmerica.com. Keep it here for technology news, computer products, guest interviews, and your phone calls. You're listening to Computer America.
Hello, and welcome into the Computer America Show. It's the nation's longest-running, nationally syndicated radio talk show on computers. Computer America is heard around the world and coast to coast. And I'm your host, Craig Crossman.
Oh, wow. And I'm your co-host, Ben. I thought it just went.
No.
Okay. I'm your co-host, Ben.
Hey, Ben.
Doing well tonight. How are you, Craig?
Your timing is impeccable, I guess. Well, welcome into a Friday edition of the Computer America Show, and yes, that's it. It's Friday! Yes, we made it. Another week in the broadcasting archives of expertise. We're going to have a good show, as I said. And of course, it being Friday, that means we're going to have a show reminder winner of the week. That's right. Some lucky person is going to get a really nice prize from our good friends over at Logitech. You know, Ben, it's amazing. Here we are. We're in the. And I don't know if you really see this. You probably don't, because. But don't you just love it when a technology company makes a change and they don't tell you anything about it? I mean, here we go.
What are you talking about?
Well, I'm on Blog Talk Radio. You know, we're on the Boost Radio Network and the IRN Radio Network and the Blog Talk Radio Network. Well, I'm on Blog Talk Radio Network, and they changed the studio. They changed the studio screen that comes in, so everything is in a different place. No warning, nothing. They just went ahead and did it. So I had to kind of reformat everything and move things around so it could accommodate the different. What they've done is they've had the different elements on the studio screen. They place them in different locations, and so
okay, other than Craig having to adapt to change, is it a better layout?
I'm not sure. I can't tell you. I don't think it really affects anything that I'm doing either way. Maybe if they would allow me to eliminate some of the things on there, which I think you can by resizing the window, it might actually be better. But they have added some different elements in here, and anyway, it's. I wish they would let you know. You know, hey, give you a warning. Hey, we're going to do this or we're going to do that, and but that's it.
Well, I mean, you got to figure as Blog Talk, they have shows all the time. You know, no set times for any of their shows. So eventually, you know, someone by the luck of the dice is going to get their day, you know, kind of messed up. So.
Yeah, well, you'd think they would at least send out a warning notice or something to all broadcasters that we're making the following changes. Expect to have this. So anyway.
Well, Greg, 23 years in the business, and if anything has happened, you know how to roll with the punches.
I guess I must. All right. Anyway, the chat room is up and running, and we got a lot of things going on here. Let me just tell you, if you have a comment or question for our guest tonight, we invite you to call in and ask those questions. You can pick up the phone, give us a call, 347-884-8881. I'll get you on and get you through. That's 347-884-8881. You can also send us an email to live, L-I-V-E, at computeramerica.com if you don't want to go on the air but you still have a question. And also, You can also go into our live Computer America chat room. From our homepage at computeramerica.com, you'll see it says live video and chat. It's right there on our homepage. Just click that button and you'll see it'll take you to the chat room and live video page. The chat room's on the left-hand side of the screen. It'll ask you for a nickname. That's the name you'll be known by when you go in there. You'll have to put in a CAPTCHA validation. It's either a number or a couple of words. Then click the connect button, and your browser will move you right into the Computer America chat room. Also, for your convenience, we've also added a button beneath there, the chat room page, for IRC clients. So if you want your chat room formatted nicely, better than just having it in a browser window, you can download things like Chatzilla or HexChat. There's a number of them there, depending on the platform you're on and the browser that you're using. I'm sure you can find something that will work, and it'll make an independent window, it'll colorize the text. It's just very nice. You don't have to have it, but it's there. So we put that up there, so you can do that as well. So please join us in our chat room. And also sharing that same page is our live Computer America video streaming page, which is brought to you by Other World Computing, the award-winning Other World Computing. The quality products expert support since 1988. They're celebrating their 25th anniversary for any of your PC needs, Mac needs, PlayStation, Xbox. You're looking for hard drives, memory, RAID systems, you name it. Anything you're looking for that will plug into your computer, chances are you can find it at Other World Computing. Just go to their website at www.macsales.com. Anything you order over $49, you get free ground shipping, which means about 80% of the country you get your product in 2 days. It's really great. They have their own YouTube channel. You can watch their installation videos. They have their blog tells you what's going on as well. It's all available at macsales.com. Just check it out. See the great values. We announced yesterday they have a brand new product. It's the wireless aluminum keypad. Comes from Newer Tech. That sells for $49. And so if you're using a MacBook or the Mac keyboard, and you really want to get the wireless Bluetooth Mac keyboard, and you really would like to have a numeric keypad, this is perfect for that. It's wireless. They even have a little plastic device that'll clamp it to the keyboard, so it makes it look like it's one continuous keyboard if you're using it on Mac. $49. Check it out. All the great products at www.macsales.com. You'll be happy that you went there. Trust me, it's a great website, great values. Okay, so anything else before we get started? We'll do our
Show Reminder Winner of the Week.
Yeah, and after when we're doing computer news. And by the way, I'm going to be using Chrome. I checked it out. It does exactly what you said, Ben. I put them in, and it, sure enough, a little speaker appeared in one of the tabs, and that was the one that was making all the sound. So I really like that feature. So I'm going to be using Chrome from now on for our computer news stories.
Wow, I didn't know one little feature would be enough to sway you.
Well, after what happened the 2 nights ago, that was enough to sway me, I want to tell you. Because I would have to close everything out, and I didn't want to do that. Now it actually identifies the page where the audio is coming from. I really like that. Can't do that in Firefox. They don't have. You can make it so it doesn't play things, but across the board. But I would rather it identify which window is making the sound, just like the way they do in Chrome. I really like that feature, so I'm going to be using that from now on. Okay, anything else before we get started?
No, I think we're good to go. Okay,
well, our guest, as I said, tonight is from ARAWR PC, ARAWR. It's an acronym, but they pronounce it ARAWR PC, and it's a service, consultation, and PC repair company. Okay, they offer services for both residential and business clients. ARAWR PC works with local PC repair shops to bring you the best in customer service and care. You can check the status and receive consultation on your PC repair or other services they offer, all from their website. Remote tech support is also offered. One of their trained support staff can log in securely to your PC to assist you with everything from software installs, server management, and troubleshooting issues. Now, joining us is the owner of ARAWR PC, David Flores. David, hi, welcome into Computer America. How are you?
Not too bad, not too bad. Enjoying my my night here. It's pretty interesting. It's nice and cold here, so.
And where are you? Where are you located? You're in
Upper Peninsula, Michigan, up by Lake Superior, where the Edmund Fitzgerald sink.
Yeah,
up that way. So.
And they're getting a little bit of a cold front there.
Yeah.
Doesn't summer just feel so good?
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah. Well, let me ask you this now. You heard my introduction, but why don't you, in your own words, tell us exactly what ARAWR is supposed to be about, and then we'll go from there. So tell us a little about the company.
ARAWR, the name actually just came from two different things that we have up here in the UP. Is what we call it for our acronym of the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. And ARAWR, as you can imagine, is the Aurora Borealis. So we have a lot of the cool northern lights up here and whatnot. So I kind of took that name and shortened it up to just the A. And then the roar part is like the little kids dinosaur you always see running around and they go roar. Yeah. That's where that part came from. Because I'm kind of a big kid at heart type thing. So ARAWR is the combination of those two things, and then PC obviously stands for personal computing. So that kind of smashed those two things together. But I guess the best way to put my company is it's a jack of all trades for computer repairs. We offer managed service provider type of services to PC repair shops and value-added reselling capabilities to our repair shops that we partner with. So all of our services that we offer can be resold to their consumers, their customers, the end user. So that way it's a little bit more of a, I guess you could say, nice segue between the two, between us and the actual consumer. So we actually work on the customer's computer on behalf of, you know, customer Bob's Repair Shop or our customer over in New York that's, you know, Pete's Pizza Repair Shop, that type of thing. So
let me understand. So if I'm let me understand this straight. So if I walk into a PC repair, my computer isn't working, and I need to bring it in, and I say, yeah, you need to bring it in because something's wrong. We have to take a look at it, and I bring it in, and he's affiliated with ARAWR PC. Does he? What do you do for that company, that PC repair store? How do you offer support or service? How does he I guess use your services to make him?
So basically like an A to B, you know, what do we do kind of thing?
Yeah.
What basically, if you're with a computer repair company, I'd say, hey Craig, you know, how you doing? What kind of services are you interested in? We have two different plans, fully white label, where we act as your company. We'll even answer the phone on a toll-free number that we give you. So for example, you know, you might want a toll-free number for your customer to call, and then we would actually sign an agreement with you for 6 to 12 months. Obviously, we have plans and stuff that you can sign up for and different things. But then you are actually put on our plan. So when we answer the phone call from your customer, you give that number out to your customer. We can actually take and tailor any of the services that we offer, so like the managed service plans, anything like that, to your customer. As far as the customer calling in, the back-end portion of what we do, we can actually work with a company called Repair Shopper. I don't know if you're familiar with them or not, but they do offer like a computer ticketing and CRM type of solution. So we can actually plug in all of the data for your customer, so that way when the customer wants to schedule a service at your shop, we can have all that data entered into your database. So that way all you have to do is take the computer, you already know what's going on with it, you're already notified ahead of time, so that way there's a little bit of a mitigation of that call for you. We can also offer support over the phone, that kind of thing. So when you call us up and you say, hey, you know, I want to have service from you guys, what's this first step? First step is we're going to find out if you're a brick and mortar store or if you're an at-home PC guy. If you're an at-home PC guy, we can work with you, that's no problem. If you're a brick and mortar shop, we need to know that you've been in business for at least 6 months or more, just to verify that you are a legit business. You know, you're not just some Joe Schmo off the street just trying to get services to sell.
Sure.
And then after that, we go ahead and process all the paperwork, we process your payment, that type of thing. And then thirdly, we list you on our other site, which is called ARAWR.com, and that's a listing service, kind of like Angie's List, but a little bit more beefed up towards the PC repair business. So it showcases like reviews and vendor notices on that kind of thing, so that way your customer can find you at a local website. instead of having to search on Google and go, okay, PC repair in Michigan, PC repair in New York. So it gives you that listing ability too. And after that, we just start answering the phone for you.
All right, so it's sort of like it's an interesting way to bring business into my store if I have a brick and mortar store. It's another way to bring business to myself through you. In other words, as you say, it's sort of like an Angie's List. People go looking for computer repair, they don't know exactly where to go, and they're going to bring out the Google or Yellow Pages and try to find something. Here, there's one area now, and it's interesting. I have more questions, but why did you decide to start this business? I mean, how did the business idea start with you?
It was kind of one of those epiphany things. My wife and I used to own a PC repair shop just an hour east of us here, and we used to kind of get, I guess you could say, frustrated by staying at the shop overnight, sometimes until 2 or 3 in the morning, and you're just working on the computer, and you're like, all right, I gotta go home. And then you'd have to come back at 7 in the morning and work on those same computers. So the idea kind of stemmed from that to offer a service, because we're like, okay, well, there's no services that are offered where you can actually have someone else take hold of these computers and do all this work for me unless I have to hire another employee. So that's where the idea came from, is that extra employee need that we had. So we wanted to kind of fill that need.
Okay. I'm still trying to wrap my head exactly. So let's take an example. Let's say I'm in Florida, okay, and let's say I'm in Miami, Florida, and my computer breaks, and I have to find a local computer store to fix my computer. And I go over to and I see the ARAWR PC, and I type in Florida, I assume, and you'll say, all right, you're in Miami, and there's a computer repair store on Collins Avenue, and here's the address. And then, so first of all, I call up ARAWR PC, I call the number to find out about that store, or I call that store. Walk me through it. What would
Sure.
I do at that point?
Well, first off, you're going to call us up, and you're going to say, hey, I have this problem with my computer. Okay, cool. Well, what's going on with your computer? Well, I got, X, Y, and Z. I got a virus that the pop-ups are coming up on my screen, and I can't get rid of them. Oh no, my computer's on fire, kind of thing. From there, I'm going to say, okay, well, either you have 2 choices. You can bring the computer into the shop, or we can take care of it over the phone. If we take care of it over the phone, it's going to be something like a remote support option that we have offered by this company that we are partnered with. If that's the case, we can either take payment over the phone for you, for the customer, our client, or we can actually just send them into your store by creating that ticket and that kind of thing. So let's say the problem is too vast for us to handle over the remote support option. We can actually generate that ticket for you and send you all the information on that customer. So we can say, hey, Craig, you got this computer, you're in Florida, and you want to bring your computer into this shop. Here's the directions. We can email you the directions. We can send them to your phone, so you can actually have it on Google Maps and find the direct location. Okay. And they'll already know that you're coming in. So that way they already have a preemptive strike kind of thing.
So basically, I don't have to. I set up the appointment. They say bring it in here at the store. Let's say in Miami, and I just go ahead. I don't have to call anybody. I bring it in. I said, hi, I'm Craig, and I call my computer, and then the person at the counter will say, oh yes, we're expecting your computer. Here's your ticket and everything, and you drop the computer off, and that's basically all I have to do at that point. I mean, let's say if it's a burned out power supply or something, I don't know what it is. I mean, the computer won't even turn on, so I couldn't even use a remote service. In other words, it's dead in the water. So So I bring the dead in the water computer. They're expecting it. They give me I get a ticket back from them or something showing that I dropped it off, and they have my number and name because I've already done that over the phone. And when they fix it or they found out what it is, they call me and say, okay, we found the problem, it's X, Y, and Z, or you need a new power supply, or whatever it is. Do you authorize to go ahead and do it? And how much is it? Oh, it's going to be $75, and maybe another $50 for the labor to put it in, and we'll give you a 500 watt power supply to replace the one that you had in there. And we're going to beef it up a little bit so it'll have a longer life. And I'll say, yeah, go ahead and do it, and that's pretty much it. Is ARAWR involved anything more at that point, or then that store takes the payment and we're done? Is that pretty much how it works?
Yes and no. We can offer services during that whole course of action that you were explaining as well. So, for example, like instead of having the actual PC repair shop do all that calling, you can actually send all that information over to us, and we can do that for you. Because with like the repair shopper program, or even just based on your own pricing schedule that you get or you give us when you first sign up, we can actually tell your customer, hey, we think it's this, this, and this. Here's the 3 diagnosis that we can give you right off the bat over the phone. And then once the customer brings the computer in and we actually figure out what's going on, we can then give them the pricing schedule too. Hey, your computer power supply is dead. There's a 500 watt option or there's a 750 watt option, just in case if you want to play video games with your computer. We can upsell the client as well, so that way we can actually add the sales aspect to that too. Yeah, dead in the water. If it was in the water, that'd be really bad. But yeah, I mean, we offer the upselling. We offer the actual sales and support over the phone. We can do the call scheduling for you. So if you want to take that part out.
So all that takes all that work takes that off my shoulders as a PC repair store. I don't have to worry about all that. All I basically have to do is fix the computer. Is what I'm doing.
Correct.
And then I notify you. Okay, then you call. Then ARAWR PC takes care of it. You contact the customer. You handle it. Pick it up. All I have to do is fix the computer and take the money. Is that what you're saying? Or
no? Yep. We even offer after the actual service support. So, for example, you call me up and you say, those guys, they fixed up my computer really well, but I'm missing a driver. Or I'm missing, something happens every now and then. You miss something, or maybe, hey, I forgot my power supply cable over there, or oops, something else happens again. We can offer up to 5 days free remote support. So let's say if that driver was missing because maybe you had to reformat at the same time, we noticed that there was a virus on your computer. So after we placed a power supply, we said, okay, well, you got all these viruses. Would you like us to take care of it? Sure, why not? Now, after that's all done and we've reformatted your computer or done a system restore, like I said, you're missing a driver or you're missing something on there, we can actually log in and take care of that for that customer too for free for you and the customer. So it's kind of an added value for your customer then, so they don't go without missing it and they don't have to bring the computer back into you, saving them time and money and you time and money as well.
It sounds to me that you're handling a lot of the grief, that would normally come up. You're taking that grief away on both sides of the from the service, from the shop itself, and the owner there. You're taking away a lot of the grief, so they can just basically concentrate on fixing what it is and dealing with it, and also the grief on the customer side. It sounds to me like you are offering a lot more than what you would get if you just walked into a regular computer repair store. It sounds
Correct.
like you're handling a lot more of the problems that could surface, and they're making the repair experience, from what I'm getting, a smoother one. Less.
Yeah, Greg. And I guess the real question is that a good thing? I mean, isn't that half the fun? Is just running around saying, what went wrong? What went wrong? I don't know.
Running around like your head with a chicken cut off.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, right?
Pretty much.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, that is fun. I mean, I don't mind, going, oh, crap, I got to fix this computer. But, yeah, I mean, pretty much we're just mitigating all those solutions for the customer and for you, kind of like a funeral advisor does between your two families, But in essence, it's kind of a needed thing, I think. In the industry, I don't see a whole lot of this. I know there's a couple other companies offering this, but not to the exact extent that I've seen around, and that what I would expect from one of these companies.
Yeah, no, I see, and I think I'm finding this very intriguing. I think that this is now. I guess the obvious question. Well, first of all, I have to say, how long have you been around? I mean, and I guess the next question is, how many repair shops are currently with ARAWR PC? If you've just started, I would assume you have a limited amount of stores that you're looking to grow. So just give us a little bit over. First, how long has ARAWR been around?
The ARAWR business itself has actually been around for 5 years.
Okay.
I did ARAWR Production Company, which was a production company that we do videos and marketing materials. So that's actually still around. I'm still doing that. But the ARAWR PC part of it has just started on September 1st of this year. As far as computer repair and whatnot, I've been doing this for this will be my 10th year now.
Okay.
And I've been tinkering with computers since I was a little kid, and I can remember a Tandy 5000. So I mean, that's gives you some idea of what I've been toying with.
Okay.
Yeah, and I just drew a total blank there. What was the other part of the question?
How many stores are you planning on
Oh,
partnering with in the future? Or, you know,
there you go.
how yeah, there you go.
Bringing into because
There you
it's
go.
it's really like a network, right? I mean, how many you're
Correct.
bringing them into this network? How many stores do you plan to bring on?
Well, right now we just got our first sign up today, locally actually, in my Delta County area.
Uh-huh.
So hooray, I got to crack my little cigar that I had all saved up for that. And as many as I can get. I can expand as far as I want to go. My whole family is all tech savvy. Both my parents are both tech nerds. They went up to Michigan Technical University for that kind of stuff. My wife is technical. All the people that I'm going to be hiring are technologically inclined, A+ certified, A+ network certified, MCSE, all that kind of fun stuff. So as far as expansion goes, we can facilitate any number that we need to hit, I guess. My plans for expansion are going to be worldwide, not so much nationwide. So
well, and more power to you for that. I
World
guess
domination is a good goal.
yes, it is. Of course, I guess we're kind of starting kind of early because, again, given the scenario, if I'm in Miami or in Pittsburgh or New York or something, and I call Aurora PC and I'm gonna say, well, where should I bring my computer to? At this point, if there's only one store in your network, how are you going to deal with that?
Right now, what I'm going to do is send them a flyer and say, hey, why don't you go over to your repair shop and hand them this flyer and say, hey, you should sign up with this. This is a good deal. Use the people for my marketing, I guess you could say. That's how I got my first store. In fact, was one of my friends actually went over and handed him a flyer and said, you need to sign up for this. Oh, okay. So he signed up. So that's how I'll handle that part of it. If they don't want to walk into that store, they can send them to my website. They can have them call me, that kind of thing. But first off, I'll say, we don't offer support in your area yet, but we soon hopefully will, and you can also help us expand our network so we can offer these services to these companies.
All right, fair enough.
But I guess in the meantime, you're still going to have your online solutions where you can connect using remote software and help them with that, right?
Oh, correct. Yeah, I mean, all the stuff that we offer, like the managed service plan, where I can do like antivirus removal, that kind of thing, we offer that to anybody in the United States, and that's at pretty discounted rates, if you want to call it that. I mean, remote support is pretty cheap. I shouldn't say cheap, affordable is probably the better word. But yeah, those will be offered to anybody that wants those services. But as far as like a break-fix type of situation, we would just refer them to their local PC repair shop, but we wouldn't offer any type of insight to which one we prefer, I guess you could say.
Okay. So we're really coming in on the ground floor here, is what you're doing, which is good. I mean, we like to do cutting edge stuff here on the show, and I think this is a very interesting idea. And I'll tell you that a number of years ago we had a gentleman on who came up with an idea. He was the presidency of a Geek Squad, and we said, "Oh, this is going to be interesting." He said, "We're gonna work on getting into stores," and starting back then.
Never heard back from him. I don't know how that turned out.
He did
I wonder if he made it yet. I don't know.
Yeah, he did really well. But we had him on the program before they became the kind of stores that the service that they are today. So, but again, see, this is a lot different than because with Geek Squad, of course, they're in Best Buys. They're in a particular location or one
I'm
kind
so
of.
glad you said that. Yes. Yeah. No.
You are actually going to be in, and because there are mom and pop repair stores. I mean, I know in the Carolinas here. I mean, I know there's a half a dozen I know off the top of my head that do this, that are available, and I'm sure we're always looking for other ways of bringing in computer repair services, and so. I think so. Basically, right now the marketing thing is obviously on a show like mine, getting the word out, but also for when people are going to go to a repair store because their system's completely dead, they might say, hey, you need to do something like this, or get associated with a company like ARAWR, and then they can handle a lot of the problems for you, and I'm just be more inclined to come to your store if you do. I mean, that's where you are at this point. But although congratulations again to you for signing up your first store.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, exactly.
It was a darn good cigar, man. It was really good.
Uh, and it was because somebody went to them and said, "Hey, you ought to join up with this." And evidently, the owner thought it made a lot of sense. Now, what kind of revenue sharing do you have? I mean, what do you ask of the store that becomes a member of Aurora PC?
That's the best part.
Except we're at the bottom of the hour, so what I'm going to do is we're going to pause here, and then after some commercial messages, we'll pick up on that. Okay?
Sounds good.
Yeah, you're listening to the Computer America Show on the Blog Talk Radio Network, on the Boost Radio Network, on the IRN Radio Network. Ben and I are talking to ARAWR PC. The owner, David Flores, is here with us. If you want to give us a call, 347-884-8881. I'll get you on and get you through. Email live, L-I-V-E, at computeramerica.com. We have a news tips bulletin review from Marty Winston coming up. You're listening to Computer America. We'll be right back.
Hey everyone, have you heard about the No hair removal device that's sweeping the globe? If you want to go weeks without shaving and get smooth, professional quality results, here's our favorite host, Cheryl, for No hair removal.
Thanks. Hey gals, I love talking about my No. It's this cute little hair removal system that you can take with you and use almost anywhere at home or on the road. No more expensive in-office treatments, painful waxing, and no more wasting your valuable time. Got unwanted facial hair? No has patented thermocon technology that works on all hair and skin colors, so it's a travel case and a $100 discount shopping card, and you don't risk a penny to try it. Try the incredible No hair completely risk-free. Call 1-800. That's 800-953-5415. 800-953-5415.
Best friend waiting just for you. The mission is to protect and enhance the lives of companion animals and the people who love them. Their no-kill rescue shelter is open year-round, making it easy for people to adopt their best new friend. This year, Brother Wolf will find homes for over 2,400 orphan dogs, puppies, cats, and kittens. All have ended up as an orphan through no fault of their own. Brother Wolf has created a safe, nurturing environment where these special animals can heal emotionally and physically until they find a lifelong home. Their life-saving transport program brings dogs and puppies from overcrowded shelters in the south to rescues in the north where homes are easier to find. Brother Wolf Animal Rescue is a 501c3 organization. To learn more about their life-saving work and to make a donation, visit their website at www.bwar.org. That's www.bwar.org. Help to realize Brother Wolf's vision when no animal is euthanized for lack of a home.
Who's a good boy?
Anyo Hashemnika. This is Marty Winston with a News Tips Bulletin Review for Computer America. This time, about berry breeds. Now, whether your lunch or snack breaks happen in an office or at home, chances are all too good that when you open the fridge, some bad smells may emerge. The first suspects are produce, when there's something rotten in the state of those fruits and veggies. In closed spaces, the ethylene gas that helps produce ripen keeps working until the fruits and veggies rot. We've covered over the years many workplace destinkifiers based on ozone. That word again, ozone. PR people like to say activated oxygen, but we'll use the more direct term for O3. It's ozone. Berry Breeze is a tiny ozone generator for the fridge. It uses clever timing. It runs in short bursts that neutralize most perceived odors, as well as it helps diffuse some of the ethylene effect. 20 weeks or more of run on 4D cells. That's pretty decent. Bottom line, Berry Breeze can help keep older food from creating a stink in the fridge. This is Marty Winston with a News Tips Bulletin Review for Computer America.
Welcome back to the Computer America Show. Since it's Friday, I think we're all sad to say that this time that particular Marty Winston News Tip Bulletin Review is gone, where he says activated oxygen just so well. we will. Of course, you can always listen to our archives, and you can, all this week, and you can hear it again. But next week we'll be having new ones.
New ones.
Yeah, 2 new ones, and hopefully they will be as hilarious as this one was.
They are.
Good. Yeah. So, but right now on the show, we have David Flores here, and we are talking about a ARAWR PC repair, and right before the break, Craig just got to the question, pertaining to what do subscribing stores have to pay for their ARAWR service.
Okay.
It's definitely Pirate Day, right? Arr, matey.
No.
Arr.
It comes around way too quickly every year. Okay.
I keep forgetting it's Friday. Holy cow.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess it depends on what services you already have and what services that you need. We offer two main plans. One is the standard plan, which is $150. I'll knock that out there, and then the white label service, which is $175 a month. Both of those can actually be dropped down to less than $100 a month with our discounts that we are running right now. So, for example, if you have Repair Tech Solutions software package, which is Tech Waro, Tech USB, and all that kind of stuff, we can actually knock your discount or your monthly fee down to $25 from that. And then, oh man, there's other ones too. $25 just for being on our launch week. So, for example, this launch week, I'm calling it, we give $25 off a month for life if you sign up between now and October 31st, and another $25 if you mention Podnuts, and then one more $25 off if you mention that you heard us on Computer America. So I'll make that a little extra bonus.
Oh.
So, yeah, but yeah, so quite a bit off actually.
So, okay, see, I thought the way you were going to do it, and again, this was my opinion. I thought that you would charge a percentage. In other words, if it costs, let's say, $150 to repair my computer, maybe 5 or 7% or something of that fee would go to ARAWR. Have you thought of a model like that? In other words, based upon the cost of repair?
I've thought of that, but I figured at the same time, there's not a whole lot of room for wiggle room as far as the consumer, or not the consumer, but the actual client goes. If they have a flat rate fee, they can kind of project their incomes and expenses throughout the rest of the month, so they don't have to say, well, it's going to cost me this for 15% if I get X amount of computers. No, it's just a flat rate fee that you pay per month, and that can actually be dropped down by these deals and discounts that we offer, and different things that we offer too as incentives as well.
So you mean no matter how many computers come in, if I'm doing it on a month, and whether I got 50 computers or 250 computers coming in for repair, their service fee is going to remain the same as far as ARAWR is concerned?
Certain things, yes. To be basically signed up with us and get our toll-free number for like the white label service, that is all inclusive. As far as like extra little things that we offer, like we offer with something that we call ARAWR After Hours. That's if you wanted to have us log in remotely to a customer's computer and you're leaving for the day, and we can log into that computer and take care of that machine for you, like antivirus software, all that kind of stuff, loading it up with the updates for Windows and that kind of thing. Those things can be done for $10 per machine.
Okay,
and
all right.
Also, if you're on a client site, you can do that too. So.
Yeah, no, all right. So that makes a lot of sense too. Or even after hours. Let's say it's 2 or 3 in the morning. I know a lot of people do their work at 2 or 3 in the morning, and they're having a problem, and they have a 24-hour number at ARAWR PC that they can call and say, hey, I need my computer's down. I need you to help fix it. And now, does it go beyond just finding viruses? I mean, because you take over the entire, and I've seen this software in operation. You can take over the entire computer and do all kinds of things with it. I mean, there might be a corrupted registry. It could be, who knows what it could be, but you can handle most of that, I am assuming. Is that what you're saying?
Correct. Correct. Yeah. It's more, the reason I just use the antivirus and the virus type of thing is just a basic, play into words type thing. Yeah, we can offer all that stuff, registry fix. If you really need to go nuts, you can offer the combo fix part of it too, if you want to go in depth kind of thing. But yeah, I mean, the rest of it for sure. We can offer anything that you could do on the computer, sitting in front of the computer, we can do as well. So diagnostic tools, that kind of thing.
So as long as the computer is running and it's not your power supply or memory or something, but if it's not a hardware defect and it's a software defect, then you basically can go in there and fix it and correct it and bring it back to a full operational ability, and the basic. So it's based upon what's wrong and the time of day that it is, and then now that billing. Or those fees then go to the store that that I brought the computer to or dealt with originally, or is the store only involved when it's a mechanical repair involved?
Oh no, that $10 fee, for example, would be for if you were to have us do, like I said, the remote live assist, that type of thing. So that cost goes to the actual store, not the consumer. The only time we actually charge the consumer is if we were to do something where we don't offer service and support for like a partner shop in that area. Like you guys were making the mention of like let's say North Carolina, we don't have a partner shop in North Carolina yet, but you would still want to have the remote support. We would bill that customer directly. That would be the only time that we would actually bill the customer per se.
I see. But if I'm doing it through a store, then it goes to then everything is done through the store.
Correct. Yep.
Which is what I guess that would be the way to do it. Now you have something called ARAWR U. I'm saying that sounds like a university. What is ARAWR U?
ARAWR U is a learning center. Right now, everybody's kind of scatterbrained with like CompTIA. You can go over here on this website and you can learn about that, and you can go over to lynda.com and you can learn about this kind of stuff. ARAWR U is a group of all these different learning companies, I guess you could say, like sales, tactic, initiative gentlemen and women that offer their services to companies for a fee. We've partnered with some of them. We're working with Newegg TV to actually get them on the show. I have a guy that was just brought on to Repair Tech. His name is Ken Dwight from virusdoc.com. He's going to be on the show to showcase his services and what he does to computer repair shops. So it's a overall learning center for different places that you can go and pick up new information about the latest viruses that are out, how to defeat them, that kind of thing. So it's just all in one area for everybody.
So it's for everybody. It's not only just for the people in the store, but it's all for anybody who calls. I mean, is it for the service technicians or is it for the customers?
There's half and half. I have it sanctioned off where if you're a computer repair shop that's actually partnered with us, you get a login, so a username and a password, and then you can actually log in and see all the stuff that's meant for PC repair shops and for the end consumer. And then there's stuff on there for the actual consumer to view, stuff like, how do I get rid of these little pop-ups? How do I refresh and set my cache, that kind of thing. How do I clean my recycle bin? Basic things that we don't want to give all the secrets away. No.
So ARAWR U. So you say it's a website. Has that website launched yet, or when do you plan to launch it?
October 1st of this year. So pretty soon here, actually.
Well, we're really on the cutting edge here, Ben. I mean, we're just.
Yeah, you guys are catching this just in the beginning.
Yeah, I know. So, and I just wanted to make it understand. So, the ARAWR U service, is that a free service, or is there a charge for that? How does that work?
Well, if you're partnered with ARAWR PC and you are an actual partnered repair shop, it's free. It's always free for you as long as you're partnered with us. If not, we do have a nominal fee of $25 a month. And if you're a consumer, it's always free. You can always go on there and view all the videos and everything that we have posted on there. Any of the webinars that we have, you're more than welcome to come on there and view them.
Okay. So so you have two categories. I say you have services that are offered to PC repair shops and their technicians, and then services to the customers. Because the customers are I guess are the customers the customers of the store, or are they customers of ARAWR PC? I guess that's what I need to
kind of go after there. Eh? It depends on. They're always the customer of the store, but the only time we actually announce that we're ARAWR PC to the actual consumer is when the store is only paying for the standard plan. That's the only time we ever answer the phone. Hi, this is ARAWR PC. Thanks for calling. This is David speaking, kind of thing. Otherwise, we answer it in the manner that you would like us to as the PC repair shop.
So if I call them and they say say, oh, I thought I was calling CompuRepair, over on Main Street here. Why am I getting this? Then
that makes it interesting.
Yeah.
What we'll say is, no, we're just a partnered company with them. We provide all the remote tech support services and that kind of solutions for them. How can I help you? We lead on to the question from there.
Okay, and they can say
So if someone wanted you to answer in an Indian accent, you couldn't accommodate that.
Hello, thank you for calling ARAWR
Exactly.
PC. This is Abib. How would you like me to fix your computer today?
Because I hear outsourcing to India is a big, turn on for customers.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, I love calling India for my outsource. Hi, this is Bob. No, you're not Bob. I know who you are.
so
I know
much
you're not
trouble.
located in Detroit. No. Yeah, that's the kicker for me is calling, like, okay, I won't use any big names, like, BT&T or anything, but a lot of these companies will use outsourced companies like from India or Pakistan or
Just
who
don't
knows.
just don't name the company. Just use their initials, like HP. Okay,
Oh, oh, just name them, but don't name them. All right, I got you. But yeah, I mean, yeah, we always hire our people in the United States.
Uh-huh.
So we're not going to have anybody and we always hire. How do you say this without being?
Yeah, please be careful.
We hire people that have good regional diction to the area that I am hiring in, I guess you could say. So I like the people that have the English accents. That might be a good way of putting it. And have a good English language speaking dictionary in their mind, I guess is the other way to say it. So
well, but what about the flip side? Let's say the person doesn't speak English. They're of a Hispanic background. I mean, how do you deal with
That
that?
actually might be a big draw because I mean I know here in South Florida, it's no joke when I say speaking Spanish is a survival skill. I mean it's and that sometimes people could be looking for PC repair, but I'm sure us being this early, you haven't even thought of multilingual support. But
Or have you?
oh yeah. If you haven't noticed, my last name is Flores. My whole family is Spanish. I know I don't look it, but most of my family is all Spanish. I have actually thought about that. I myself speak broken Spanish, I guess you could say. I had it in high school when I was younger, and but yeah, I mean, I've thought about that, and that's something I'm looking at too. As soon as we start hitting those areas, like if we hit Florida, for a good example, Texas, Arizona, Southern California, those kind of areas, I will actually hire a person that is bilingual and can speak those languages in those regions.
Or just say, for Spanish, press 4. And then it's always let's go into Spanish. Exactly.
And then the phone hangs up. No.
Yeah. Or for Indian, press or no, that's not Indian. What is the native language of? I know it. I told you what it was, Ben, and I'm
what,
blocking.
Hindi?
Yeah, Hindi. Yeah. From Hindi, press 7. Yeah, exactly. So, but something I would assume these are considerations that you're going to give credence to as you continue to expand your services, right?
Oh, you bet. Yeah, I'm always looking for ways to improve and expand. That, and then the other thing is the next big hurdle for us would be international borders. Obviously, like we were talking before, how are we going to expand in these different areas? And that's always a fun part because I've had actually a lot of interest from the UK, and as you know, that's a multilingual area. That would also be another thing where we'd be looking at hiring people from that area versus hiring people from the United States. So we actually want to pay people that are actually in those areas versus here in home.
What about acceptance of other currency like Bitcoin or something?
Oh, you bet. I love Bitcoin. As much as it gets for flack, I love the currency. I love the decentralization of it. And I accept Bitcoin, Peercoin, Litecoin, Zipcoin, whatever currency that you can think of, I accept it.
Doggy coin?
Yes. No.
Dogecoin. We pronounce it doggy coin.
Yeah. That's all right. Yeah, I accept all those currencies. And,
you did?
Oh, yeah. I even teach my PC repair shops how to accept those currencies as well, too, so that way they can become kind of, in with the new tech, I guess you could say.
Really? Okay. So, again, you're sort of just getting on the ground. You get your first store, but obviously the remote services, they're available now. Now, you have, I assume you have a toll-free number people can contact you. Are you open 24/7, or what are your hours at this point?
Right now, every day, 9 to 9, Monday through Sunday.
Eastern,
and then Eastern Standard Time, correct, yep.
9 p.m. Mm-hmm.
Correct. And I mean, if for example, excuse me, the store wants us to stay open until midnight, we can make the exception. I do have a couple of people I can hire for those late hours and whatnot, and even midnight if need be. So we can actually accommodate to those needs. But yeah, we got a toll-free number. It's 1-844-233-0653 if anybody wants to call and ask me any questions.
Sure. And if you want more information, of course, you go to our website at computeramerica.com. You click on our show notes page. You'll see today's show, which is September the 19th, and we actually have a link to Aurora PC right there that describes the show, and we have the link right to the website, and that stays up, forever. So, worst case scenario, you can just go there and see it for yourself. I know we're right at the beginning of this, so obviously we're talking about some of the future services that you might want to be considering. We just mentioned, different currencies, different hours. What are some of the other future services that you're going to be, that you're hoping to offer?
Right now, I actually offer. I was just looking over my list. I've got 62 different features I offer.
Really?
So, yeah, there's a lot. Now that I counted them all, I'm like, oh man, holy cow! No. We offer obviously like discounts and stuff for added value type of thing. Dropbox, we give a 10% discount to every user, 5 user accounts type of thing. Carbonite, we offer 10% off of all their plans. I love Carbonite. I actually have one of their accounts. It's great. Pier 1 hosting, we offer 8% off of all their plans, so you can resell that to your clients. Threat Track Security, which offers the Viper antivirus and another software, we offer 10% on there, so you can resell it to your customers as well. And then the one thing that we're doing. Oh, go ahead.
Do you list these anywhere on the website, or that so potential alliances or repair shops can see all these things, or do you have them listed on your website?
You bet. It's actually on the services page. If you go to our website, it's right on the services page, and you can just scroll down and you can see all the included features. Not all 50 plus are located on there, but a good handful, because I mean, it's just after about 2 in the morning I was typing all those out. I'm like, man, there's no way I'm gonna go and type all these out tonight. So I just said, heck with it. I'll put and more. So if you want to know more about which ones we offer.
Exactly. I see new feature, automated appointment calls. That's
a cool feature.
So what is that? How does that work? In other words, that's someone calls in and they can just set it up automatically without talking to a human being. Is what you're saying?
Well, pretty much, yeah. You know how when you go to the doctor's office and they say, well, hey, we're going to have this automated phone service call you up tomorrow, and they're going to say, well, you have a doctor's appointment at 1 p.m. today. Please press 1 to accept the configuration kind of thing.
Yes.
We offer that to our clients and our for their customers, so they can actually have that nice little feature service where you can text, email, or even call them on behalf of you. So that way it looks like it's a nice little convenient service for you.
Very nice. You mentioned 8% off any server rental cloud hosting plan, like from Pure Networks.
Yep, and that's something that normally they give you a commission of, if you're a partner with them, they give you that 8% commission. Instead of me taking that commission and being greedy little Dave, I'm actually passing that on to all my clients so they can make the money off of that.
Yeah. You also have, I noticed you have a support on the service too, a little chat that you can do, live support.
You bet. Yeah, I see you're chatting with me. Hi, how you doing?
Exactly.
That is a feature that is on every single client's page. So, for example, if Craig, you were to have a web page for your computer business. It's Craig Crossman's Computer Repair Services. You actually have that live chat on your website, so you can chat with myself or any of the repair techs that we offer. So you can offer kind of a big business look to your website. So it gives your customers that extra little added feel for your service and your support services.
Yeah, it's nice. I mean, it's nice to go to a website and have a live chat available with somebody. If you can't find a phone number, at least you can type into something and communicate with them there. I sometimes find it frustrating, but at the same time, because I like to speak to people, but then
See, no, I actually like the live chat a lot more, because then you could copy and paste, and when it comes to PC repair, you don't want to read out VIN numbers or any kind of extended phrases.
Yeah.
So copy and paste is great.
Yeah. And it works too, because I just typed it in. You sort of got a response. All right, so these are some of the and it's not even 11 o'clock yet. See, they're still open, and it was only supposed to be 9 to 9. You see that?
Yeah, I'm just staying open just a little longer for you now.
Well, this is really cool. So you mentioned that that you're going to offer, and what are some of the ones that you're hoping to offer? I guess that's in the.
Oh, like a sneak peek of what's coming in the future.
Uh-huh.
Actually, I am trying to find this one company, and I don't know. I don't know if I should even mention them, but well, what the heck? D&H and Ingram Micro.
Yes.
And I think it's SYGERX. I've never been able to pronounce them. It's like jewelry for me. It's a hard word.
Mhm.
But yeah, I want to work with them to offer a wholesale purchasing account underneath ARAWR PC, so that way if you're the computer company, and normally you would have to go and buy it like Newegg or Tiger Direct, that kind of thing, because they offer some pretty decent prices. I want to offer services or products from these companies that you can buy wholesale through me. That way you get the discount of quantity versus having to buy like 500 quantity, or I think Ingram Micro is still at the $5,000 minimum order quantity, which is nuts. But hey, if we have all these different companies that are partnered up throughout the United States, we can order one big bulk order and say, okay, hey, you only want one hard drive from your company? Sure, we can do that. That's no problem. Whereas normally, if you order through Ingram Micro or D&H, you have to order a massive quantity from them. I mean, several hard drive cases, that kind of thing.
Maybe you should check out one of our sponsors, Other World Computing. You know, they have they have some really good things there. You know, you may start.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I didn't know if I want to mention them or I don't know. But yeah, I'm definitely going to.
Yeah, you definitely should say, hey, you know, we heard him on Computer America, and we thought we could contact.
But I can totally see how with down the road, if you're trying to supply 200 computer stores across the country, and and they need X amount of solid state drives or terabit hard drives, and if you could store a giant 500 unit order, and then just kind of piecewise them out to each one at a reduced price, I mean, that would be a great service that you could provide for the companies joining your service.
Oh, definitely. And it even goes beyond that for my hopes, but that's the basic premise for it. I mean, it kind of frustrates me just because I do own a repair shop here in town. Trying to do a minimum order for these companies is just ludicrous sometimes. I mean, like I said, $5,000.
Well, hey, listen, you might want to check out OWC because they may not be as big as what you mentioned, but certainly they might be more open or amenable to something like that. Well, I'll tell you what, David, we're pretty much out of time. Again, it's ARAWR PC, ARAWR PC, ARAWR PC, and you can go to their website again and check it out at arawrpc.com. And that's the website. And again, just go to computeramerica.com, go to our show notes page. We have the link to it as well. And again, the phone number to call if they want is what?
1-844-233-0653.
There you go. All right.
And I'll even be here until midnight just in case anybody wants to call.
All right, David. Well, thank you so much for being at this again. And you know what? Let's have you back in, let's say, about 6 months or so and see how things are going for you. And see how.
Maybe we'll be about the size of Geek Squad.
Yeah,
I hope.
Exactly.
Cool.
All right.
Well, thank you.
All right, David. Thanks again for being here with us on Computer America. All right. Take care. Have a good one.
Too.
All right. Bye-bye. All right. There you go. ARAWR PC, David Flores, and certainly something to consider.
ARAWR PC.
ARAWR. Yeah. Well, it's Talk Like a Pirate Day. I should have had David Perry on with us. He loves that.
Is it Talk Like a Pirate Day?
Yes. That's what they're saying in the chat room.
I hear that if you went to Krispy Kreme today and you were dressed like a pirate, you got a free dozen donuts.
Oh, I thought they hit you in the face with the pie.
No, I don't think they make pie.
Exactly.
Oh, could you imagine a Krispy Kreme pie?
A Krispy Kreme pie, that would be good.
That would just be heart-stopping. like not from beauty or taste, just like it would literally stop your heart beating.
It would, yeah, exactly. All right, well, we've got a lot more coming up here on the Computer America show. We got a whole bunch of news stories that we're going to be doing in the next hour of the show. And, of course, we'll have our show reminder winner of the week. What are some of the stories that we're going to be doing? I know ASUS is rolling out an overclocked and custom-cooled graphics cards. We're going to be talking about those.
The two new graphics cards from NVIDIA, which we haven't yet talked about, but NVIDIA just released their latest and greatest graphics cards, the 980 and the 970. So that also Alibaba, we talked about them. They're from China. They're huge. They had their IPO and how much they raised. And here's a fun fact: Alibaba is now bigger than Apple and Amazon and Google.
How can that be? I thought Apple was the
They
biggest
had their
company.
IPO.
Really?
Yep.
Wow.
They raised a ton of money.
Wow.
So yeah, we're going to talk about that and how they're the new big player. Some about gaming, Resident Evil coming around. Some about the dark web and how that's kind of gotten a little bit seedier.
And
Tesla, watches, everything.
how about a totally serious plan? Even saying this sounds ridiculous, but a totally serious plan to connect Brooklyn and Manhattan by gondola. Yeah, it's happening. Hey, and also a news tips bulletin review from Marty Winston. All the stories and more coming up in hour 2 of the Computer America show. And of course, our show reminder winner of the week. You're listening to the Computer America program. We're coming right back. Don't go anywhere.
Broadcasting live. It's the only national radio talk show on computers to air every weeknight. Computer America. Hosted by national columnist Craig Crossman. The first hour's behind us, but there's still more of tech news, tech talk, and your phone calls. We're being beamed nationwide at ComputerAmerica.com. You got computer problems? Bring them on. You're listening to Computer America. Computers run the world, and we run computers. Call us or send us an email to live@computeramerica.com.
Hello and welcome into hour 2 of the nation's longest running, nationally syndicated radio talk show on computers. This is the Computer America Show, and I'm your host, Craig Crossman.
And I'm your co-host, Ben.
And we just had ARAWR PC on. Very nice guy, David Flores. I wish him the best of luck. He sounds like he has a great idea, and I think it's going to work. It'll be like.
I mean, I know that a lot of our listeners, a lot of them actually own PC repair shops of their own.
Yeah.
So it sounds like but between a couple of the features, it may be worth it to go out check in to see becoming a member with him.
Yeah, exactly. And again, if you missed any of that, just go to ComputerAmerica.com, click on our show notes button right there, and you can see the link to ARAWR PC. And there might be something that you might be interested in doing. I mean, they're getting in on the ground floor. Nothing better than that, Get started early. And they just brought on their first store today. You heard them. So we just lit that cigar. All right. Again, we're also going to have a show reminder one of the week. We're going to be giving away a Logitech T650 a glass touchpad to a very lucky winner. So we'll be announcing that too. And of course, our Logitech contest is up and in full swing. Just go to our homepage at ComputerAmerica.com, and you can see under the Interact menu. You go to our contest, and you'll see the Logitech contest. So you register. It's really simple to do it. With a new grand prize, we're offering that Logitech X300 mobile wireless stereo speaker, and you, as the winner, get to pick the color that you wanted that speaker to. So enter in all of our contests. You'll have a lot of fun doing it, and you might win something really nice. Okay? And as I said, we'll announce the show reminder winner a little later on in this hour of the program. So, anything else you want to mention, or we're gonna do some computer news?
No, let's do computer and technology news.
Okay, let's do it. Tonight's computer and technology news is brought to you by Slimware Utilities, the official optimization software of Computer America. You can visit them at slimwareutilities.com to clean, speed up, and optimize your Windows system for free. That's right. Everything at the slimwareutilities.com website, completely free. They're not crippled. There are no freemium models, none of that. All their software is free. Just download it. Keep it in your toolbox. When you need them, you're going to really be happy that you have them available and use them. They work wonderfully well. We use them here at the Crossman household. They do exactly. They clean, speed up, and optimize your Windows systems. They're terrific. You'll be happy that you went there, downloaded them, and you'll thank us for it. SlimwareUtilities.com. And in this first story from Maximum PC, Paul Lilly, ASUS rolls out overclocked and custom-cooled Strix GTX 980 and GTX 970 cards. Now, is it Strix or Strix?
I think it's Strix.
Yeah, it might be.
No, Strikes. Strikes definitely sounds better, so it has to be Strikes.
Yeah, yeah, I think you're right, because Strix are for kids.
Oh,
Okay, so cooler and quieter than reference. He says, are you of the opinion that speed limits are more like suggestions than enforced rules? Okay. Do you believe reference designs are for suckers? He says, well, if you answered yes to one or both questions, you might be interested in the new Strix GTX 980 and the Strix GTX 970 graphics cards from ASUS. Both of these Maxwell-powered parts sport factory overclocks and custom cooling solutions that are supposedly 30% quieter than NVIDIA's reference cooler. That's nice. As ASUS is prone to do, it outfitted its new cards with its DigiPlus voltage regulator module technology and super alloy power components. Fancy terms for higher-end components intended to increase durability and cooling. Both cards also feature a DisplayPort interface to support gaming at up to 4K ultra high definition. Now, the Strix GTX 980 is overclocked to 1279 megahertz, up from 1126, and the 970 is goosed to 1253 megahertz, up from 1050 megahertz. Both sport 4 gigs of GDDR5 memory that runs at boosted speeds of up to 7,010 megahertz, which is essentially reference. I mean, reference, you realize that's it. That's the ultimate. That's why they call it reference. I mean, that term is used in, I don't know, everything from audio equipment. You know, you get the reference when that's like the state of the art when you buy a piece of reference equipment, if you can even buy it. And everything is compared to that reference. You know, that's like the industry top of the line.
Yep.
With regards to cooling, the cards use ASUS's DirectCU 2 cooling technology that consists of 10 millimeter heat pipes capable of transporting 40% more heat away from the GPU. The design also offers 220% more heat dissipation, according to ASUS. The cards run 30% cooler and 3 times quieter than reference. Whew. Both cards should be available today. At the time of this writing, Newegg shows the Strix 970 as out of stock and priced at $340, plus $6.31 for shipping. There's no listing yet for the Strix 980. But
I mean, if the 970 is running at about 340, you can probably expect the 980 to be somewhere around 450, somewhere around there.
Really?
Yep.
Okay. Well, there it is.
Graphics cards are they're getting impressive. I'm still sitting on a decent one, but I really want to look into some of these higher power graphics cards. They're technology what is it? Every 18 months it doubles or whatever. It's holding true still to this day.
Wow. There you go.
All right, so next story. This one from Time, and this one actually might impact your beloved company, Apple, Craig. So this is new. This is the FTC mandates refunds for online back orders over 30 days. Yeah. So again, this one is from Time, and by now most everyone has had an e-tail horror story. The authors happened several years ago when they ordered a sale price flat screen TV from a major tech website. The credit card was charged immediately when I placed the order, but the television was never shipped. It was still back ordered months later, and every time the author checked back in with the unhelpful seller, there were no new delivery date in sight. Only after they challenged the charge on the credit card and statement did the website finally relent and agree to refund the author's money and the interest charges that accumulated while waiting.
Wow.
So thankfully these kinds of horror stories will soon be a thing of the past. This week the U.S. Federal Trade Commission, FTC, announced new rules regarding the timelines of fulfilling online orders. In short, if a website cannot put an item in your hands in 30 days, it needs to offer you a refund. The FTC writes, the rule prohibits, the rule, by the way, is capitalized, the rule prohibits sellers from soliciting mail, internet, or telephone order sales unless they have a reasonable basis to expect that they can ship the order merchandise within the time stated on the solicitation, or, if no time is stated, within 30 days. The rule further requires a seller to seek the buyer's consent to the delayed shipment when the seller learns that it cannot ship within the time stated, or if no time is stated, within 30 days. If the buyer does not consent, the seller must promptly refund all money paid for the unshipped merchandise.
Here, here.
So, yeah. So the new rules is to go into effect December 8th, which is good news for those planning on doing their holiday shopping online this year. Similar rules have existed for mail orders since 1975 and telephone orders since 1993. You can read the full details of the update mail or telephone order merchandising rule by going to the ftc.gov website. So apparently it isn't anything new. Again,
Well,
they
it's
had this
new.
in place for mail for 1975 and phones for 93. It's just for the internet.
Yeah, I mean, the internet is playing catch up. Catch up. I mean, you know, and that's just the way it is. And because they had these successful rules for mail orders, and because they've had it successful for telephone orders, it really wasn't too much of a leap for them to.
I'm surprised. Yeah, it's not too much a leap. I mean, you know, if you're going to do it for telephone, why wouldn't you do it for something shopped on the internet? But I'm surprised it took this long. I mean, there has to be some statistic out there saying how much. Well, actually, I think it was last year. More products were bought online than in stores for Black Friday. Like they have like Black Friday, and then they have like Cyber Monday, which is like, you know, when everyone goes and buys online merchandise on Monday, you know, the Monday after Black Friday. And I think last year was the first one where Cyber Monday actually sold more merchandise than Black Friday.
Yeah.
So I'm surprised it took that long for them to, you know, kind of make this rule. But I guess, you know, it's necessary.
Yeah, I think basically they just needed people to start complaining. You know,
That
because
is the way these things work, isn't it?
yeah, well, yeah, because they have to get complaints. I mean, it's like anything else. It's like, you know, that's how laws and things come about, because something gets done, and then it has to take to court, and then or a law is made, and then it gets contested in court and gets overturned. It's all because of people, you know, contesting it or requesting it or challenging it, and that's how these things. I think that's basically how we work. I think a lot of the times, if you were to deal with large companies, if you would get something from Macy's or, you know, a large online, so if you went to Neiman Markups or something and bought something there, chances are they already have a pretty good customer service in place. So if you were to buy something and it wasn't delivered, you could call them and say, hey, you know, I placed this order, and they would probably just refund your money pretty darn quick.
Neiman Markup?
Yeah. No, yeah. I mean, if you
Neiman
go.
Marcus.
Yeah, Neiman Marcus, of course.
Okay.
You know, but the point is, all these stores. If you go to these reputable stores that have an online division, and you order the website and you order it, chances are you'll have somebody that you can complain to, and if you don't get it in a week or 2 weeks, you have somebody to call. The problem happens, I think, when you deal with smaller companies. It sounds to me like the author of this story. He did not name the company, but, you know, he had a sale price flat screen TV. Although he says a major tech website, you know, I'm doubting that. I would think it was probably something that we probably didn't hear too much about. But if it was like a Best Buy or a really big company, you're probably not gonna have problems like that. He's not going to make you wait, you know, like months later. I don't see that happening.
Oh, Craig, the joke is on you.
Okay, who is it?
Walked right into that.
Who is it? Best Buy?
Guess what happened?
What happened?
People who ordered the new iPhone 6 and 6 Plus are going to be waiting weeks for orders to be filled and shipped.
No, you know why? Because
yes, they will.
Just today, one of our neighbors just walked by and he had an iPhone 6. I said, "Where'd you get that?"
Okay, wait. just because your neighbor has one does not mean everyone everywhere who ordered one is going to get one immediately because your neighbor has one.
Well, because he ordered it because if you're in a small little town, yeah, if you're in New York City, you're going to be waiting around the block in line. There's no question. But if you're in a small town, chances are it's like when I went to a first-run movie, there would be lines around the block. I've never seen a line around the block because we're in a small little city, and I think it's the same thing with phones like this. If you go to the average store,
I have a story, so I'm going to find it and I'll get back to you.
Okay, all right, go ahead. All right, so you continue with your story.
No. My story was, just the whole FTC thing. Apparently, they are, this has happened. They're making rules, and
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I still think if you're dealing with this with a large company, you're probably not going to experience this. I think this happened to this guy was probably with a smaller company, and it looks that's what happened to it. Speaking of iPhone 6, according to Time, they want to take a look at what's inside the iPhone 6 box. And they say, according to the author here, Matt Velli says, the best part of getting a new device is the ritual unpacking. They do nice packaging over at Apple. There's no question about it. Apple launched its two latest iPhones today, the iPhone 6 and iPhone 6 Plus. He went over to the Verizon store here in town, and he said there was one person ahead of him, and he picked up his phone, and he had his choice of colors and size. He says, can't get one today, no problem. Here's a closer look at what's in the box for the 4.7-inch version. By the way, I looked at the 4.7 version. I thought it was the 6 Plus because it was so much bigger than the iPhone 5S. I thought, oh, this is the 6 Plus. He went, no, that's the 6. It's a big phone. If you 5S and you hold the 6, it's a big phone, folks. It's a lot bigger.
I know it doesn't sound like much when you're saying 4.7 to a 5.5. I mean that's less than an inch. You're thinking how noticeable it can be. That's that's diagonal length, and it makes a big difference.
Yeah, it's a big. Now one thing I did notice is that the iPhone 6 would fit in my shirt pocket. I put it in my shirt pocket.
Why would you ever do that?
He made me give it back though. Yeah, no, yeah.
Don't keep your Okay, for everyone out there, do not keep your iPhone in your shirt pocket.
You're the one
you're going to bend over. You're going to bend over, and you're going to drop it out of it.
Now you know why that doesn't happen with me. You know why? Because I wear suspenders, and I put the suspender over the shirt pocket. It holds it in. It doesn't fall out.
Well, then you have to compromise your visual aesthetic pleasingness to the rest of humanity.
Okay. Well, anyway, he had one, and as I said, I held the iPhone, the 6, not the 6 Plus. The 6 really felt bigger. It was thinner though, so it was manageable, but it was definitely bigger, and quite a bit bigger. I mean, I had my 5S and I held it side by side, and it is definitely a bigger phone. The 6 Plus, I can't even begin to imagine what that's going to feel like. I'm going to go over to the AT&T store probably tomorrow and just see what that's like, because that thing's got to be huge, like a phablet, or something. Anyway. The story goes on to say it's actually got several pictures of how it looks like in the box and opening it up and everything, and what it looks like. So let me also tell you that I have now had iOS 8 for like what, 2 days? Yeah, 2 days.
Yeah.
I love it. I mean, it's really great. There are some features in there. I love the predictive keyboard. I was texting and I noticed
someone in our chat room just said it doesn't happen to Craig because he's too old to bend over. That's funny. Okay, wait, yeah. Okay, so you had iOS 8 and you like it?
Can I ban them in the chat room now?
No. He needs to stay. He's perfect.
But yeah, I think that the predictive keyboard. I love that because I was texting someone today. And I noticed that as I was typing, the word that I wanted was right there in front of me. I just had to tap the word. It was very cool, and I understand. And that was brand new. I understand as the more you use it, the more accurate it becomes. So it really shortened things up. I kind of like the predictive keyboard. So I've been using iOS 8 now for 2 days, and so far I like everything about it.
I tried to upgrade, but I don't know about anyone else. It tried to make like I said, I have a smaller C drive. I have a smaller, different hard drive, and it tried to make a backup on that, and it needed like another 6 gigs worth of memory just to make a backup on it or something. So I can't upgrade. Fun story.
Wait a minute. You put you have iTunes on your
D drive.
D drive. Just run iTunes from the D drive. You say it won't update it?
It tries to make a backup on the C drive.
Well, I know the answer. Then just hit the little X and just that last backup, just X it out, and it won't make
No. Like just for it to go into the install process. Like if it was just a normal backup, you could do that. But since it is a complete iOS 7 to iOS 8 update, it needs to make that backup.
And you can't change the drive.
I can't change it.
So you're gonna have to find a different computer to make a backup on. I mean,
no, I'm just gonna have to stick with iOS 7 for now.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Well, let's see if we can come up with some. It's your turn to do a story now, right? Yes.
All right. Cool. I didn't know you finished with yours, but that's perfect.
Yes.
All right. Well, I found the story I was talking about. This from Tech Hive, just released today at 11:30 a.m. You have to know at the time. If you didn't pre-order an iPhone 6 Plus, prepare for a lengthy wait. Several wireless carriers and Apple's online store are reporting delays of several weeks to 2 months for the larger of the 2 new iPhones. T-Mobile, for example, got out the news this morning. It wouldn't have any supplies of the iPhone 6 Plus in store, but would be able to honor all pre-orders. As a perk, the company will throw in free shipping to anyone who comes into a T-Mobile store to order one from today through the weekend, according to the company. The wait times are fairly lengthy with Verizon as well, with the company's website displaying a shipping date of October 24th for an iPhone 6 Plus order. Okay. Sprint did not specify a timeline, only that shipping was delayed. Early November was the earliest AT&T could promise a device. The best option is probably the Apple's retail store, with the shipping time listed from 3 to 4 weeks. Jump on it early, though, as those times could change rather quickly. The iPhone 6 Plus looks to be the more popular model. Otherwise, you could be in for a long wait or need to pay an excessive amount of money to online retailers like eBay, where I'm sure people are taking advantage of the situation, and jacking up the price of iPhone 6 Plus. So if you have more money than time, check out eBay. They might have something for you.
Wow, I find that surprising. They're saying the iPhone 6 Plus is proving to be the more popular of the 2 models.
I don't know why you find that surprising. I mean,
it's big. It's honking big. I mean, I thought the 6 was really big. I can't imagine. I haven't held the 6 Plus.
But I mean, the 6 Plus would be the better of the 2.
Well, you'll see more information. That's granted. I give you that. But
there has to be a difference between the iPhone 6 and 6 Plus, other than screen size.
Well, yes, because if you iOS 8 actually has some more abilities. If you can do landscape, you tilt it. A lot of the apps will give you additional screen additional information.
So the only difference between 6 and 6 Plus, well, you know what? Even regardless, if there were no other hardware upgrades between the two, the bigger phone screen size is obviously what people are wanting. That's it. With Android phones, the bigger screens have been selling like crazy, and the smaller screens have not. So consumers definitely want a larger phone screen size. Even if Craig can't imagine anyone not wanting to fit it anywhere else other than their shirt pocket, which they can put their suspender over.
Well, I remember it's a bigger screen size, but it's thinner and lighter than the 5S, so that kind of makes up for it. So it's flat.
So you can fold it in half.
If you can, but it certainly feels like it. Okay.
Now, of course, because all these have a specified date and the FTC rule that we just talked about, since they specified a date, you can't take them, anywhere. They don't have to offer you a refund because they listed a date. But just saying, even with Apple, back orders like this do happen. So.
All right. Well, this story here from Maximum PC again. Turtle Beach. We've had them on the show a number of times. They've launched a new kind of headset, the Ear Force Z60. It's claiming to be the first PC gaming headset ever with DTS headphone X7.1. In other words, 7.1 surround sound. You know, that's like 7 speakers around you and 1 subwoofer, but they're not there. It's on your headset, and then so the first to do this. And it's available in stores now. Okay, the Turtle Beach announced the availability of its Air Force Z60 PC gaming headset. It was first unveiled at the Consumer Electronics Show earlier this year in Vegas. And according to Turtle Beach, this headset is the first and only PC gaming headset to utilize 7.1 surround sound. Now, DTS Headphone X is supposed to make game, movies, and music sound better over headphones by enabling discrete control over speaker position and angles. Turtle Beach said it created audio presets using DTS Headphone X for more realistic sound. Well, how so? They say most surround sound mixes put the center channel about 8 feet in front of the listener, perceptually, which is the default for TV and film because the dialogue is coming from the screen. With a first-person shooter and many other game genres, much of the center channel audio comes from the player's character, for example, the sound of the player's feet walking in the snow, their inbound radio, and the sound of spent cartridges being ejected from their gun. So using these headphones, the audio engineers at Turtle Beach created game presets that put the center channel in toward the player's midsection to make the placement of those sounds more realistic. That's pretty cool. These headsets boast large 60mm speakers. It also features an inline control unit to adjust chat and game audio individually, surround sound modes, and a microphone mute. And this marvel of audio engineering, $120. Would you wear one of these?
$120 is actually pretty standard for what high-end gaming headsets cost. And for anyone out there who has not had the distinct pleasure, especially with shooters, think your Battlefields, your Call of Duties, your Halos, your what have you. If you've never played any of these games with a high-quality gaming headset, it makes a world difference. Like, when you're just playing with maybe just a microphone and a controller and your TV speakers, that's one thing. But then I have no joke put on these headsets and I heard sounds that you would never hear with just a TV speaker. And I know it's weird. You're just thinking, oh, it's just changing the the audio output from your TV speakers to your headset. Nothing would change. You actually do pick up the footsteps of someone else who is, maybe coming behind you and are way further than your TV would pick up. It's just, I don't know what it is, but it's just the sensitivity. The game projects it, but I feel like most TVs and surround sound systems don't output it, whereas high quality gamer headsets, they do.
Yeah.
It's a whole different experience, and I don't know if it's a coding thing. I don't know if it's just some kind of sorcery that Turtle Beaches, Razors, what have you. Pick your high quality gamer headset, but it's a different experience. They're definitely worth investing in, even if you already have a good surround sound system.
I agree with you completely in the sense that even when you went to you would listen to a movie with the 5.1 surround sound. You watch a movie with 5.1 as opposed to just stereo speakers. I mean, you really you feel like you're immersed into it. And when you do this with headsets, talk about an immersive experience. You really do get that immersive experience. It's like you can rely on your sense of hearing to give you more information that you would normally get with just the visual and audio. I mean, you hear a sound and it's over your left shoulder. You can turn around. I mean, you get a more immersive experience and you get more information coming at you.
You know what it might be? It might be that your brain doesn't have to pick out, okay, there's a little drip that's coming from my bathroom. Let's ignore that. Your brain doesn't have to say, okay, I hear scratching. That's my dog. It has fleas. I don't have to pay attention to that. Your brain kind of gets isolated where the only noise coming out is the noise of the game, the movie, the what have you.
Your dog has fleas?
Maybe. So it's not just what the movie is projecting is that it's blocking out for you all the sound that's coming in from other sources.
Well, I know it definitely gives you a more immersive experience with the game that you're playing. I know, I've tried it. It really is, and it's definitely worth it. As you say,
Worth looking into.
It is definitely worth it looking into. Again, Turtle Beach makes them, and they're available now, and they're reasonably priced, $120. There you go.
Yep. So next story, we have about a minute before the bottom of the hour break, where on the other side we will be announcing our show member winner of the week. But also on the other side of the week, we will be discussing Alibaba.
Is that
and how much it raised during its IPO.
Is that Alibaba and the 40 Thieves?
Not quite. It's Alibaba and the $40 billion.
Oh my gosh. No wonder he's got a smile on his face.
Just kidding. They didn't raise $40 billion, but they raised a little bit under that, but they're worth many times over. And we'll go over the numbers after the break.
You're listening to the Computer America Show on the Blog Talk Radio Network, on the Boost Radio Network, and the IRN Radio Network. We're doing got a new news tips bulletin review. Not a new one, but the last one coming right up.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 120,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy and major car companies filing for bankruptcy, Cover America Auto Care has announced revolutionary, inexpensive mechanical breakdown coverage that is now available to the general public to save consumers repairs. An line has been established for drivers to call who own a vehicle that is less than 10 years old for a free 5-minute quote and to see if you qualify. The number is 800-483-2514. Drivers who are covered with this auto protection will not have to pay for a covered repair again. This is the auto coverage now sweeping across America at a fraction of what dealerships charge and is now available to the public by calling today. The number to call is 800-483-2514. 800-483-2514. That's 800-483-2514.
Don't complain about your cable bill going up and up and up. Do something about it. Grab a pencil and jot down this special number. 1-866-663-MY-TV. The more cable TV rates go up, the better digital satellite TV looks. So, disable the cable and get more of your favorite channels in 100% digital quality for less money. Call 1-866-663-MY-TV right now to sign up for packages starting as low as $19.99 and up to 4 rooms. And there's no equipment to buy. That includes your free HD TV upgrade, your free DVR upgrade, and your free professional installation. And the best part, the pristine digital picture and sound. Call 1-866-663-MY-TV. So, what are you waiting for? Pull out your major credit or debit card. Call 1-866-663-MY-TV. 1-866-663-MY-TV. Disable the cable, cut costs, and get more. Call 1-866-663-MY-TV. 1-866-663-MY-TV.
Guten Abend. This is Marty Winston with a news tips bulletin review for Computer America. This time it is the ARAWR heart rate headset. The headband that goes behind your neck hides sensors and shuttle and call controls while feeding audio to earbuds. So ARAWR is a headset that also monitors heart rate, but wait. There's an app, an iOS or Android app, of course, that extends the measurables to include speed, distance, calories, and more. The app is also its only display. The sound quality is decent. The data displays as promised, and the rig is overall comfortable enough to wear during exercise. Bottom line, the ARAWR heart rate headset let both the music and the workout make your heart beat faster. This is Marty Winston with a news tips bulletin review for Computer America.
Welcome back to the Computer America Show. 32 minutes past the hour, and that was the last new show news tip bulletin review from Marty Winston for this week. Although we'll have new ones next week.
Yes, well, 2 of them.
2 of them.
2
one for each hour.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
We like them both. But Friday, last half hour of the show, it's that magical time of night again. How
Time
about
for
we announce a show reminder winner of the week?
Yay!
Yay!
All right. You ready?
Yes, sir.
And this week's show reminder winner is Jeremy Dixon. Jeremy Dixon, congratulations. You win the Logitech Wireless Rechargeable Touchpad T650. It's the large, smooth glass surface, works with Windows, and it's valued at $80. And so congratulations to you, Jeremy Dixon, for being this week's winner. And again, head over to computeramerica.com, enter in all of our contests on our contest page. It's real simple. It's right under our first hold down Interact menu, and you'll see all the contests. Register. It's all free. You get the show reminder. And remember that everything that you do and enter in all of our contests is kept private. You don't give the information to anybody. And we'll announce another winner next week. So again, congratulations to you, Jeremy Dixon, and your name will appear in this upcoming show reminder email newsletter. Ben and I are doing computer technology news, brought to you by Slimware Utilities. I understand that Alibaba is really happy.
Yeah, actually, and again, this is going to be an editorial from Bill Saporito.
Mm-hmm.
This one from Time.com, and the article is, of course, Alibaba is overpriced and overhyped. So what else is new?
Mm-hmm.
Now, of course, the title of it doesn't put a good spin on it, but it does have numbers, and we like numbers. So Jack Ma is lousy at math as a kid and began his career as an English language instructor in China. He seems to have addressed that deficiency quite nicely. Ma 50 is executive chairman of Alibaba, China's biggest internet commerce company, which just launched its IPO on the New York Stock Exchange that raised, are you ready?
Yes.
$22 billion.
Oh my gosh.
That's a lot of billions.
Hmm.
So it's the biggest IPO on record. That's a given. Alibaba's shares were priced at $68. The high end range. I'm sorry, the high end of the range set by investment bankers. But when trading started, the price jumped to $92.70. $92.70. The values the company at about. Are you ready for this?
Yeah.
$232 billion.
Wow.
I'm sorry, not bigger than Apple, but it is bigger than a couple small companies you may have heard of. Bigger than Facebook,
Mm-hmm.
bigger than IBM, larger than Amazon, and I guess IBM as well.
Yes.
I don't know why I said IBM twice. So my shares are worth close to $18 billion. This guy is now worth a lot of money, even after selling some $867 million in the IPO. Alibaba does little retail business in the United States. It was originally designed to provide an online wholesale marketplace that connected Chinese companies with buyers all over the world. But the company now includes an eBay knockoff called Taobao. Taobao? Taobao. That did indeed knock eBay out of the way in China. Tmall.com, a brands and retail platform, a cloud computing operation, and other retail and wholesale business, Alibaba is synonymous with e-commerce in China. So I would guess it would be our version of eBay, Amazon, and whatever online retail you can think of, all wrapped into one.
Which shows there's an underlying point here. It shows you how I don't know what word isolated, but how isolated China is from us, at least. I mean, because until this, I never heard of this company.
I wouldn't say that China's isolated, because like the article said, they had eBay and they had Amazon. They have these things. It's just we don't have them here in America. If anything, America is kind of oblivious to outside tech, because tech companies that start here in America, they can spread everywhere and they get adopted everywhere. But as soon as something gets started and takes hold in China, Thailand, South Korea, Germany, Switzerland, any of these places, America doesn't hear about it because, hey, why would we? We have Amazon, we have eBay, and it may work for them, but for us, we are the oblivious ones. I wouldn't say that they're isolated. I think America is oblivious.
Okay. Well,
And I know it's very un-American to say, America, you're oblivious, but I mean, $232 billion, it kind of goes to show that America is a little bit oblivious. As a general, I'm not saying individually, not you, you're the smart one, common listener, but I'm saying as a whole, America is pretty oblivious.
well,
You know,
I'm saying, because I hadn't heard of it, but obviously investors had. I mean, because they knew that.
I don't think even I really do doubt that investors in America had heard of it either. I mean, I'm sure they did their due diligence, and before investing it, they probably researched it.
It's the New York Stock Exchange, right? So.
Well, no, I'm sure they did their due diligence when researching it, but I doubt they heard of it before they decided to release an IPO in America. Because if they're not in America, what does the New York Stock Exchange care?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just and I'm sure they heard about it, and as soon as they saw that, hey, as soon as a company that has 1.3 billion customers, and they only think about Alibaba for their online needs, that company is going to be worth some money. And apparently that the dollar figure that they put on it was $232 billion. So Ma again, the chairman of the company, is more than familiar with the ways of the investment cycle works, as well as the Chinese government. He was introduced to the internet in 1995 in Seattle and set out to become China's web pioneer. He linked up with Yahoo co-founder Jerry Yang for a $1 billion investment in 2005 that will be paying off enormously for the otherwise struggling American firm. Throughout it all, he has done things his way. In this regard, Ma has a lot more in common with Amazon's Jeff Bezos and News Corp's Rupert Murdoch. If you are a fan of shareholders' democracy, you might have the wrong outfit in Alibaba, because again, of that $22 billion that was raised, $18 billion of that is Ma's.
Yeah.
So so again, the company's IPO cites data claims that there are 500 million mobile internet users in China. 500 million. Just to give you a perspective, there are 350 citizens in America. So there are 150 million more people that use cell phones than there are even people in the entire United States. And there are 279 million active buyers. Better yet, only 8% of all shopping is currently done online in China, and the Chinese government is not only raising wages, but wants consumer spending to become a greater force in the economy. And of course, when you have that much commerce, brick and mortar isn't going to cut it like it has here in America, because even here, where we have good infrastructure, online is still taking the crown. So online is probably going to become even bigger in the future in China. The potential is enormous, of course, and Alibaba is not a startup. The company with $7.3 billion in sales that earns actual profits, but the question for investors is always how much you want to pay for growth. And when it comes to tech, the answer is often too much. Alibaba may be a Chinese company, but this IPO is an all-American way for inside holders to get rich, or in Ma's case, dynastically rich.
Yeah. Well. So the thing was, it was or it's not a good investment. I couldn't get that from the article.
The article, I think it's getting the feel of it's no startup. It's been around, and the potential is great, but because it is so dependent on one man, he owns many parts of the company. Because it's so dependent on one person, it might not be as well grounded as it should be as a company.
Okay. How many billion?
Let's see. The company itself, again, $232 billion. He himself is now worth, thanks to the IPO, an additional $220 billion. That's not fun money.
That's a lot.
That's inventing new fun money. That's crazy money.
That is crazy money. Well, getting back to the country here.
What do you mean getting back to the country? That was an American IPO.
Yes, it was. Yeah, right. But it's in China. Is that where the company is
No,
located?
no, the company's in China, but the IPO was on the New York Stock Exchange. That's America.
Yes, it is. You're right. Well, so much for that segue. Uh, Wired magazine doing the story here. The totally serious plan to connect Brooklyn and Manhattan by gondola. I don't know if this is really going to happen.
I thought you said America. Gondola is an American.
No, it isn't. Well, it's that little thing, suspended on a cable, But it says if an imaginative real estate executive gets his way, New Yorkers will soon have a new way of crossing the East River between Manhattan and Brooklyn. Instead of slogging across a traffic-snarled bridge or cramming into a packed subway car, they'd soar over the river in a gondola. The head of the city realty is totally serious about this. He came up with the idea for the East River Skyway a few years ago after a wild party. No, while skiing. He thought it could work in New York, given the other cities, including Portland, London, and Rio de Janeiro, have similar systems. This week, Levy published a bold plan for an aerial network connecting Manhattan, Queens, and the Brooklyn. He figured it could be built for between $75 and $100 million, a fraction of what New Yorkers spent on recent subway expansion projects. The idea has a lot going for it, but if built as Levy envisions, it would be useful to only a small, affluent subset of the city. Yeah, think about it, because you only have so many cars. I mean, how many people, I don't know. I don't see this practical because...
Craig, no one drives in New York. There's too much traffic.
Yeah, but I'm saying how many people could you accommodate with this system at a time? I mean, let's say each car holds 20 people. I don't see it holding more than 20. So, and then each car, it would have to be spaced. It would have to be constantly running back and forth. So,
which they normally do.
Yeah, but the load and unload has a certain amount of time.
No more than a bus.
I don't know. I know, but because when you're loading one, then the car stops. I mean, they're all kind of tied together. So then
have you never been on a gondola? I mean, yeah, it stops, but then you get this awesome view of you hanging over the river. I mean,
yeah.
You laugh, but I mean that's where people like to take pictures. They like to ogle and look and say, hey, look at that photo. Let me get a photo here. It's a touristy thing. Ski resorts have done it for a long time. They call them ski lifts, and I'm sure many of them have gondolas as well. But I mean, it's not an unheard of practice.
No, I'm sorry, but I see it more for touristy type of things. I don't see it for people who are serious about business who have to go to point X to point, from X to Y, to Z.
If your job is to get across the bridge and you can take a taxi from one side to the other, take a taxi. When you get to one side, take a taxi, get where you need to be. Go to the other side, take a taxi, get where you need to be. It would be a pretty simple solution. I mean, even if you're paying, $2, you get on it, and the trip across takes, I don't know, let's say 15 minutes. If they have that one bridge there, and like I said, traffic gnarled, obviously there's a lot of traffic on that bridge, it would take you longer to drive across than it would to use this.
Yeah. Well, it's an interesting idea. I would have to look into it with more depth to see if it's going to really happen.
Craig Crossman, the civil engineer.
Yeah, civil. It takes more of a study, Especially if the cars move independently of each other, that still wouldn't be good because then they would run into each other. So obviously they have to be.
What universe are you living in where you have one cable and you said, the cars might run independently, and then they all bunch up at one point and then you'd have a little traffic jam. Craig, they'd be at different points.
Yes. When one stops, they all stop.
Like if you can imagine. I'm thinking for this bridge, you would have maybe 10 gondolas, 5 on each side, spaced apart, and you take 3 minutes maybe to get on, get off, make a little sound, doors open, people get off, people get on, doors close, and then you ship it off to the next one. And it's a constant, moving of 10 cars.
But when they stop and they load in that next one for 3 minutes, all the gondolas on that chain stop, right? Because yeah. Okay. Well, that's it.
But of course, you'd have one on each end stopping. So you have one on each end, one loading and unloading and loading passengers on each side.
Yeah.
Gondolas work. I mean, we shouldn't be discussing the merits of a gondola because people use them. It's not a new concept. It's
Okay.
would a gondola work in this situation? And I think it would.
I think we've gone as far as possible on this story, so why don't we go?
I don't think so. I think that in this situation, both cities are very well known for their taxis. Taxis and public transport and public transit would, take care of any need. You don't need a car, and if you can just get across that instead of, walking or having to pay a taxi to get across there, all the better.
Okay.
Okay.
You pick another story.
There may not be another story here, folks. I'll be honest with you. Better than the gondola story, but we'll look.
I think
we'll look.
Okay.
Because that was a good story.
That was a good story. Yes, it was.
Let's see. Engadget. People who use eBay, be careful. eBay vulnerability leads to phishing login page.
No way. Yes.
Thinking about picking up a used iPhone on eBay? Shop carefully, friends. It's apparently phishing season. Phishing, of course, with a PH and not an F. The BBC is reporting some auction listings are redirecting to counterfeit eBay login pages. Fronts for phishing scams designed to steal customer usernames and credit card information. The good news is that eBay isn't technically hacked. The online marketplace allows sellers to use scripting to gussy up item listings. Cross-site scripting is generally not allowed, but these scammers are doing it anyways. Quote, cross-site scripting is not allowed on eBay, and we have a range of security features designed to detect and then remove listings containing malicious code. eBay told Engadget. Even so, the BBC says it was able to identify 64 malicious listings from the last 15 days. All of those auctions have been removed, of course, and eBay says it is actively seeking out and removing these kinds of listings. Still, better safe than sorry. If eBay is asking you to log in at an erroneous time, double-check your address bar and make sure you haven't been mysteriously redirected. And to go a little bit further into this and how it would happen, you would be, just shopping around on eBay, you find a listing, you click on it, and then if for some reason you get redirected to a page that looks just like eBay, except you're not signed in or anything, and you were just signed in, and you're like, oh man, the whole, my browser just glitched out on me. I have to go enter my user information again.
No,
don't do it before checking and making sure that it's not like, e-bay.com or
something close to it, yeah.
Or or eDay or something just very tiny that they do to change the address, and then because copying the front page of eBay isn't that hard, and then as soon as you enter your username and password, it saves it, catalogs it, and then I'm sure it redirects you back to the original eBay.
See, one thing I don't have to worry about that is because if it comes up, my browser looks for eBay, and then if it says, if I've been away too long, or if I'm going to do an accounting information, it'll ask me sometime to re-enter it again. But I don't do it because my browser looks at that URL and it says, and it just puts it in for me automatically. That's part of the autoloader in the browser.
Again, these are password managing services and things like that, and even your browser would remember. But it's just thinking about it. It wouldn't be too hard for people to say, oh, something bugged, now I have to enter all my user information again. They wouldn't think, they wouldn't think that, hey, this may be a phishing scam. I'm sure even myself would think, oh no, my browser glitched out.
Yeah.
No biggie. I'll just fix this real quick.
Check yeah, you're right.
Yeah, so be on the lookout for phishing scams on eBay. Like they said, they found 64 in the last 15 days. Not a very big number considering how big eBay is, but it's still a threat.
Yeah.
So keep an eye out for it.
Yep. Okay. All right. Now, there are all these stories. I don't know if I really wanted. We have all these tech stories, but there is one that was kind of interesting from Engadget. The researchers have created an oscillator that could silence the mechanical watch. In this day and age of electronic and digital watches, but this is an interesting story. It says you're running late to a meeting, glaring at your wrist in disbelief that it's 15 minutes past the hour. Are you really that late? Lifting the watch to your ear, you hear the all too familiar tick of its internal mechanism. Yes, it works, and you are indeed late. This scenario could soon be a thing of the past, mostly because the mechanical watches of tomorrow may not tick at all. Okay, evidently these researchers have found a new silent oscillator that could potentially be used to make watches with fewer mechanical parts. It's not a digital conversion. Watches built on this new technology would still very much be mechanical timepieces. They would just operate on different principles. The new oscillator, which is called ISO Spring, turns continuously in one direction instead of using gears and a balancing wheel to alternate between oscillations. Right now, the team is working on miniaturizing the technology to fit in clocks and watches. If successful, it'll mean more than just silent timepieces, but perhaps longer-lived ones, too. Traditional watches lose 60% of their energy to mechanical parts. Hate ticking, but can't wait for the new technology? Well, there's always smartwatches, like Apple's watch, for example, which is coming out next year. So.
Did you slip that in, or did the author say that?
No, I slipped it in.
Okay. Like the Moto 360 from Sony.
No, I'm going to wait for the Apple Watch.
I'm not saying you. I'm saying everyone. We'll give them the option.
Yeah, again.
We here at Computer America do not play favorites, except for Craig.
Yeah, exactly. It's interesting because more and more columnists that I'm reading are saying that they really do like it because of the way, it reminds them of a nice piece of jewelry, the way they've designed it. And they think that this is going to be the actual first smartwatch that's really going to be successful. So,
don't they hope?
Yeah, they hope. Everybody hopes. Yeah, exactly.
Everyone hopes. Doesn't mean it's going to be true, though. So, Craig Grossman has not had any hands-on with it, I'm just saying.
No, not yet. I plan to. Anything else that we have time for? Yeah, we have. We have
a couple minutes. How about Google Fiber gets a new leader? So this one from Engadget a couple days ago. Google Fiber proves it's serious about fast internet with a new leader. Worried that Google Fiber would just be a momentary fascination for the folks at Mountain View? Don't be. Google has confirmed to Wall Street Journal that it recently hired Dennis Kish, one of Qualcomm's bigger senior vice presidents, to lead its gigabit internet efforts. While it's not clear why Kish came on board beyond his quote-unquote operational expertise, he's still no stranger to managing big tech projects. Among other work, he played key roles in both Qualcomm's Mirasol display efforts and ST Ericsson's connectivity business. That kind of know-how could be crucial given how Google's expansion plans, especially if rumors of mobile phone service pans out. It's too soon to gauge Kish's influence, but a high-profile hire like this suggests that fiber's super-fast data service is only going to get bigger, and that your local telecom giant may well get some genuine competition.
I like the logo. Do you see the Google Fiber truck? It's a rabbit.
Yeah, it's a rabbit. It's a rabbit with the so blue, green, yellow, red.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting.
Colors.
They would pick that as the logo for the
very friendly. Very friendly.
Yeah, very non-threatening. I like it.
And Google Fiber is coming out in more and more places. I've actually heard people. They say they wanted to move cities, and they, no joke, looked at all the places where Google Fiber is available, and they have made their decisions on where they want to move based on cheap, high quality gigabit per second internet.
Yeah.
It's definitely playing a big role in where people want to move.
I would think so too. Do you think Google Fiber is going to come into our area? Right now,
by our, you mean the whole South Florida to North Carolina stretch? Yeah. I don't know. That's a big stretch.
Yeah. Well, but people want it.
I'm hoping that eventually, Google puts enough pressure on everyone that they're going to realize, hey, customers really do want gigabit per second internet, and they will stop providing people with 10 megabits per second or 15 megabits per second or 6 megabits per second, and they'll actually try to bump up from, even Craig has an astoundingly fast 100 megabits per second.
Yeah.
That doesn't hold a candle to 1 gigabit per second.
No, but
I'm hoping eventually other people will start doing it, not just Google coming and rescuing us all.
Well, also, you remember Japan has got something that puts even the gigabit to the. I mean, Google's fiber to shame. I mean, they're coming up. Was it 50? Was it 100 gigabytes? It was some real high, that they're putting into place. So you could download a feature movie, in under about a second. You get a full feature movie. I mean, incredible speeds. We're going to be seeing
90 seconds.
Hey, we're out of time. Listen, it's Friday. You know, I hope all of you go out and have some fun, catch a movie. You know, just do something fun. And then we're going to be back on Monday night. Monday night, we're going to have Mike Riley back with us. He was how to build a PC. He's a technologist, book author. He has another book out called Programming Your Home. And he's going to talk about home automation.
60 seconds.
And all the cool things you can do with home automation. That's going to be a fun show. And then in hour 2, we'll have more computer and technology news brought to you by Slimware Utilities, the official optimization software of Computer America. Have a great weekend. As I said, you got weekend plans, Ben?
I was actually, playing Monopoly just here before, so hopefully might be getting back to that.
All right. Is it the regular board game or the technology version?
Regular board game.
Oh, that's no fun.
What? It's the most fun.
I see. All right. Well,
because you get to cheat because I'm the banker.
Have a great weekend. We'll see you on Monday night. So until Monday night, this is Craig Crossman hoping that your hard disk never becomes floppy. We'll see you tomorrow night.
10 seconds.
On Monday night.
Hey, everyone.
Thank you for using Blog Talk Radio. Goodbye.
Okay, was that new website design? Anyway, thanks everybody for watching the show and on our live video streaming page brought to you by Otherworld Computing. Have a great weekend, and Ben and I will see you on Monday night. Have a good one. Good night.
Good night.